listening to the Experience Pros radio show, where business revolutionaries Angel Tussey and Eric Raymer, best-selling authors of Lists That Saved My Business and founders of Experience Pros University, are inspiring you to get your business right. Let's join Angel and Eric for today's program.
Hello and welcome to the Experience Pros radio show with Angel and Eric. Thanks for taking time out of your day to join us for ours. We're here to remind you that small business is big business and your business is our business.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. You know, when we talk about business and inspiring you to get your business right, and I think the way, kind of the old school traditional way of thinking, Eric, is what am I going to get?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I'm signing up for the Chamber of Commerce so that people will give me money.
Yeah, I'm going to that network so I can get more customers.
Right.
Or that networking event. I'm going to that trade association. I'm signing up for this. I'm attending that. What is in it for me? And
Gimme.
I often hear, you know, when we talk to people, are you going to this event? Are you participating in this campaign? Well, no, I don't. You know, there's really nothing in it for me.
Really?
Really, nothing at all.
What did you bring to the table?
And you hear, well, that thing didn't work for me. That chamber didn't work for me. That group didn't work for me. That marketing campaign, that advertising, it didn't work for me.
You know, with just a few minor exceptions that I can think of in the history of my business career, business is a function of reciprocity. You know, it's you go out, you give, and then you get in kind. And I, to be honest with you, those people who sit there and say, I tried it, it didn't work for me. My question right back to them is, how much did you put into it?
Yeah, what did you give? What did you do to make it work? You know, I often hear, you know, these little excuses, and this is kind of how I equate it. We'll say, well, I lost something. All right, well, what did you do to keep track of it? What? All right, I was late. Well, what did you do to be on time?
Right.
I didn't get anything out of that group or that, you know, that campaign, that promotion. Well, what did you do to make sure that was successful? I'm not getting word of mouth marketing. What are you doing to create word of mouth marketing?
Who are you word of mouth marketing about?
Yes. And so, you know, I think a lot of times we go into it and we're not getting. And I know it can be, it can seem like it's a drawn out process or that it's not always reciprocal. I'm giving, and I'm not going to get. And you go into it with the expectation really kind of skewed.
Well, yeah, if your motive is really to get and you give only to get, then again, you get what you got in full. But, you know, think about this. You know, last night we were over at Strings in Denver with the Certus Professional Network, and there's an organization that really gets this and lives this every single day. The Certus Professional Network, part of the Go Givers Network, if you will. Sabrina, of course, is Go Giver of the Year a couple of years ago. They understand that in order to do business with somebody, you have to put change in the pocket, if you will. You have to put some money in the account. You have to be willing to be the person that you want them to be first.
Absolutely. And so as we're going around meeting new folks, it was a new group of people for us. The intention is, how can we add value to this conversation?
That's right.
What can we do when we meet somebody new to make sure that they walk away feeling like they got something out of it?
Well, and wasn't it fun when you go and meet somebody who's there for the very first time, and they, you know, it's a different kind of networking over at Certus. It's giving. And so we'd go over and say, hey, how are you, and so on. And you just see the whole idea of, how can we help you? You don't even know me. How could you? No, really, how can we help you? And then they come through with an answer on that.
Well, and I think,
cool.
You know, we often talk about being prepared for that answer and knowing what your goals are, knowing what you're going after. Who is your target market? And I think that's a big piece. You have to know who your target market is, what your goals are, who you benefit and how you benefit those people. But I think there's just got to be a mind shift. It's not about getting. It's about giving. And with today's economic shift in the way that business has evolved, we can no longer have this cash register mentality. We have to build relationships. We want to create loyalty and have those bragging fans. But we actually have to take that responsibility on ourselves to say, this is what I'm going to give.
Lead by example.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's really the end result. If you'd like more information about the Certus Network, you can find them at thecertusnetwork.com or just certusnetwork.com. CERTUS network.com. Fantastic show for you today. We're going to be talking about value innovation. We're going to talk about marketing, and then we're going to talk about how to give sizzling posts on your social media. You're listening to Angel and Eric on the most positive business talk show in America.
The Experienced Pros, revolutionizing the way people treat people in business.
Frame de Art has framed items for some of the most famous charity events in Denver. This year, Frame de Art's giving back even more. Each month, Frame de Art is donating a signed and framed Peyton Manning jersey to a local charity.